Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the third episode of Talks Over Tea. It's been quite a while, and this time we're doing it a bit differently because we have a very special guest all the way from the other side of the world, where it's much nicer right now. And this episode, I am drinking green tea flavored with honey lemon ginseng with white tea for smooth taste from Celestial. And of course, I put my family's own honey into it to sweeten it up. And so, without further ado, I'm joined by Nicholas Drakan, who joined the region while I was away, but now we've become close friends. So, welcome aboard, Nico.
Thanks very much for having me.
Of course. So, we've learned a lot about you over the past couple days, and we learned that we've met each other before in different regions, which was always fun to reminisce. Yes, it's not often that I get to see a lot of people from different regions in TAR, or TAS as it's known now. It's kind of like on the other spectrum.
Yeah, well, I just I'd gone a lot in my early days of doing the same regions that you had, a lot of monarchist regions, those kind of things. And I decided I wanted to change it up and kind of look for a more, American flavour is the best way to describe it. And kind of just landed myself in the Allied States, and then JD became quite good mates with me and just started messaging me a bit and kind of getting me, dipping my toes in the water, one would say. And then it kind of, from there I met Obi and you and a couple other guys, and it's made me stay around, eh?
Well, I'm definitely glad you're around. I originally, of course, like you, was in a lot of monarchy regions, and I actually came over here because I had another friend who was in the region, and I was like, I need to see what this is about. And originally, you might not believe this, but the region was much more geared towards nations role plays, where everybody was like a nation role playing, and it was kind of weird, so I tried to make it more normal, like the other regions where you're a player and character.
Yeah, well, I enjoy the player-based regions a lot more, and I'm glad that it's starting to become that. Like, I can still see, Regiona and even yourself, you do have RPs for nations. It's not my strong suit. I've never been good. It's a bit too technical for me, and I'd rather see a physical map than role-play a tactical map. But yeah, it's really good, and I'm enjoying the region, and I enjoy you can be yourself a little bit more in TAS than other regions. In other regions, you kind of have to play up the character, where in TAS you can muck around and be yourself a little bit more, which I find a bit more relaxing, especially as I get on an age.
Yeah, it's definitely more laid back than other regions I've been in. Pretty carefree.
Yeah, definitely. But it's cool, and I've been, like I told you, I think I've been in NS longer than you have.
Yeah.
It's the same. So,
only by a few years. But we're both very old in nation states. Not everybody's.
Nation states are like grandpas, yeah.
Yeah. I wonder how you'd convert nation states years to real years. Like, do you get 2 years per nation states year or something?
I'll even be pushing maybe 5 years per year of life.
Yeah, maybe it's more like 4 or something. I don't know. But either way, we're really old.
4 or 5 years. We're hitting our coming close to retirement years.
I know. There was one time when I was telling somebody all the things that had happened to me in nation states, and it was really early on. Only 2 or 3 years had passed, and it felt like 10 years, but then it was like, nope, just 2. And I was like, oh, a lot happened.
Well, I think that's the case with every region, though. I remember when I started off. I started off in the Respected Realms, which was a region way back in the days, guys, that had 100 people. It was an alright region for a long time until it kind of died away. And it was just, I was 16 years old, and by the time I was 18, because I was there for 2 years, I just time flew by, man. Like, you don't realise it. You think, oh, yeah, 2 years, and you're like, nah, it's 2 years.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why I'm still here is I spent so much time. It's like, well, I've come this far, I might as well keep going.
Oh, definitely, and like, I still have a love of politics, and so nation states is one of the best places to go to kind of discuss that without as much of trolling as other political regions, like political backdrops I've found.
Yeah, it's very easy to debate political stuff, though I don't always debate political stuff because I've debated a lot of, especially liberals, and we always get into the same old fights, and so I'm like, I've already debated you 20 times, I don't need to do it again.
Oh, definitely, and like, I can understand that also on my end, because if you haven't told with my distaste to some of the stuff that Reg comments, I'm very much anti-Trumpism and conservatism.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I can understand the same view as that, you know, I've butted my head upon many a wall going, how can you believe that as a conservative? But that's part of I think why politics is so important, and I think as long as you're willing to talk with a level head and accept that the other person sees things from a different lens, I think that's where the importance is with politics, and it's just very quickly being forgotten due to American politics.
Yeah.
Which is sad, but that's okay.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes we just get in our ruts and don't like debating and don't like hearing the other side. So it's always good to hear.
I go to church and stuff like that, so naturally I should be viewed more conservative because of the fact that I'm like church going, you know, marry a wife, have kids. Like it sounds a very conservative life, but then me and my wife like equality in marriage, all these different things as well, which definitely leans more towards our liberal leaning side. So it's it's an interesting subject, and it's kind of like I can see the merits of conservatism and liberalism. It's just I prefer, even though I'm probably more central, to be considered a liberal, I guess.
I see. It's very interesting. We don't always, well, it's especially very interesting since you're in New Zealand. We don't always get to hear opinions from those south of the equator. I think Free State's probably the only other one south of the equator in the region. So.
Well, but the thing is with Brazil, they're quite like, so America's quite minimalist extreme. So you guys are like, oh, look at Republicans and Democrats, but you don't see that, like, other than like small government to big government, gay marriage to religious acts kind of stuff, there's actually not that many differences between the parties. But when you look at places like Brazil, France, Canada, even New Zealand for some settings, that we're starting to kind of, now that we've got Canada's becoming more of a stronger ally for us with the connection between Justin Trudeau and our newly elected Prime Minister, Ardern, I forget his first name now. It's bad, she's my political party leader. Jacinda Ardern. We're very much New Zealand centralist, but we're becoming more extreme because we've realised that change isn't happening with central governments.
I see.
It's too safe of a bet, and because in New Zealand we have an MMP system instead of a first past the post or electoral college system, which you guys have, we get more of a say of who we want to represent us in government in the areas of different places that want us to represent in government, which is really cool because, like, for the first time ever, New Zealand's actually had a minority government elected.
Oh,
really
wow.
like it.
That's
So,
interesting.
just Ardern, she only won 37% of the poll of for government, but due to coalition, she formed a government.
That is very interesting.
So, it's really cool because it means that people like me who support the Labour Party and support like rebuilding homes, minimising immigration so we can increase job work, all these different things which they're very central but they're extreme on both ends. So it's not like the central is like where giving marriage taxes and doing something else. It's very much like we stop immigration, we increase housing by 100,000 houses per year kind of thing.
I see.
Like two big extremes, but the thing is that because we're making actions and statements like this and actually following through with them, it's making our government more active. And it's a really cool thing for us, and like the fact that like by 2021, like we're expected to have over 300,000 homes in high density areas and increase our job capabilities by our unemployment rate by 20%. That's huge,
Yeah. No, what you should really do is build the Shire just all over New Zealand. That would get people.
All over. That would. Well, we already get enough Americans over here. We get so in our economy, the main economy is the dairy industry. So in New Zealand we produce 1/3 of the entire world's dairy dairy amount.
Wow.
In our country, so we're very big on dairy. After that, it's probably primary resources. So we've got 3 active mines in New Zealand, as well as we've got very big fishing and forestry sectors. And then after that, it's tourism. Tourism is huge for New Zealand. Like it's stupid. Like
I imagine.
Like we have on average I lived in a town called Tokoroa, which is about 15 minutes away from where the Shire is, 15-20 minutes away from the Shire. And to the Shire, the farmer who owns the farm that builds the Shire, he's retired now, and he just has some other company who hires his paddock with the Shire in it, and he lives off. That's how many tourists we get.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I would love to go to New Zealand as a tourist. Go to the Shire, everything.
It's amazing. Like the amount of films that have been shot in our country it's actually crazy. Like we've had the Chronicles of Narnia.
Oh yeah.
They were shot here. So the battle in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, where they're running through all those rocks.
Yeah.
That's New Zealand, and I've actually been there. It's a really cool place in the South Island, just about an hour and a half drive from Christchurch, where they had a massive earthquake there.
Wow.
I got to go live down there for 6 years. It was really cool. It's one of the most beautiful places in the world, though. It's also where you've got all your riders of Rowan and stuff like that, where you have those ridiculous mountainsides backed onto beautiful grass flats and stuff like that. It's a breathtaking country, and if you just hire a van and drive around for a month, your view on how the world looks is going to change a lot. The people are lovely. I can't they're of course they're an arsehole in every country, but New Zealand's renowned for our hospitality. People understand that people loving our country is such an important thing to our economy. So it's a different take because it's such a small country and everything's packed in together that it's an experience for people to kind of see, because we're not a trillion dollar country. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's very interesting. I would love to take a month off and just tour New Zealand or any country. Maybe not any country. There's some.
You can hear it first. You can come crash on our couch if you can do it.
Oh, why? Thank you. I might have to take you up on that. Save on some hotel cost.
Well, we're in Wellington, so that's half an hour away from Weta Workshops, Peter Jackson's company.
Ooh, that's interesting.
And by the time you get here, his movie museum would have been built, and he's got I think it's $550 million worth of movie merchandise he's putting into this one museum.
Oh wow, that's great. That's very interesting too. I know we were talking earlier about the Lord of the Rings and all your connections to them, living so close.
Yeah, well, it's just one of those things. You go to a place and you're just like, oh yeah, and then they've got pictures of Orlando Bloom eating coffee and having dinner there, or Aragon or something like that. And it's like, yeah, when I think I was like 7 years old, and this is when they just started to do like horse training, that kind of stuff. And it was real cool. I was walking around my mate's farm because I used to go to his farm on the motorbike and like feed the horses with him and kind of hang out on the farm and ride motorbikes with them. And I just walked around the corner and boom, there was Gandalf. It was pretty unreal. And,
I imagine.
I didn't know who he was at the time. Like obviously the movies hadn't come out, and I didn't like who back in like 2000 and something really knew who Ian McKellen was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so yeah, I just said, "Oh hi, I'm Keith," and he was like, "Oh hi there," and I was like, "Oh, what are you here for?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm meeting my horse and we're just training and riding him." And I was like, "Oh, that sounds pretty cool." And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, what are you doing it for?" He's like, "Oh, just a movie called Lord of the Rings." And 7, 8-year-old me's like, "How's that movie?" Like, what are you talking? Like, huh? It's not even a book, is it? Like, what are you talking? Like, I don't know nothing about it. So I was like, "Oh, that's nice." Well, it was nice to meet you. And I just kind of like walked around the corner, and then Mum's like, "Do you know who that is?" And I was like, "Nah." And she was like, "Oh, do you know you like Shakespeare?" Because I loved Shakespeare at 7. It was because I loved history, and history was always great. And Old English was one of my favourite. I was like, "Yeah, Shakespeare's cool. He wrote Julius Caesar and stuff." And Mum's like, "Oh yeah, he's part of the Royal Shakespeare Company in England." And I was like, "Really?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh yeah, that's pretty cool." He's like, "Yeah, he played some of the most like famous characters in Shakespeare and stuff." So I went back around the corner. I got an autograph from him on just like a bit of paper, and I didn't realise what that autograph really was. And somewhere in like a book that my mum stored under some of the stove, I think, or something.
Yeah, you're very lucky.
So stuff like that, it was cool. And just it's kind of like if you lived in the right areas of New Zealand, that was your day-to-day life. Was your parents worked on a movie set, and you got to see these like all through villages and stuff.
That's great. I can't say that I am not jealous, because I am. I really, really am. It's killing me on the inside.
Don't get too. Like, I'm a big NFL fan. Sounds weird, I know, but if I could live in America, I'd be so happy.
Well, I've not been to any NFL games, but I do get to see a lot on the TV, and I have been to a lot of college games, specifically Ohio State, because that's where I go to college, so I guess we have football.
You do, and you at Ohio State, that's not a bad team either.
No, they should have let us into the playoffs, but sadly Alabama got in, and then they win, so.
Well, I'm an Alabama Crimson Tide fan.
Are you? So I guess that wasn't no sweat off your brow, Ohio State not getting in.
Nah, it didn't bother me.
And I can tell you a lot of people around here were pretty salty. But we won our bowl, so I guess that makes up for it a little.
Yeah, because you guys were Orange Bowl, is that right?
No, I think we were the Cotton Bowl this year.
Cotton Bowl, that's right. There's like 100 college bowls, I sometimes forget. You know?
I know, they're like consolation prizes. Like, here, you get to compete in this bowl. No, leave us alone.
It's like, one thing that's really shocked me is like how serious Americans have taken like participation awards and stuff.
Oh, yeah. And it's funny because it's like the generation who's usually bashing it are the ones giving it.
Almost. I know, man. I come like in New Zealand, it's like my mum took my medal away. I didn't play in the game. I was only a sub.
I played.
I was like, "Oh, thanks, Mum. Great."
I played t-ball back when I was in kindergarten or whatever, and they gave us trophies, and I didn't really understand what it was. I just thought it was like, oh, I played, I get this trophy, okay, cool. And then I really didn't care, and it sat on my counter now for years and upon years upon years. So it's no sweat off my brow.
Oh, you clearly understand. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's where I just like I look at it and I'm like, and they're even like creating sports in America that mean that you have to like it's fair participation no matter what.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, there's like this isn't a real sport. There's no winner and loser. Like, what's the fun of this?
Yeah. I know I didn't have too much fun in T-ball because I think they put like everybody out on the field, and then I felt useless, and so I was just picking grass out in, I think I was like right around third base or something, I can't remember. But I was just picking grass and the ball would just go by me.
So what state are you originally from?
I am originally from Ohio. Some of my family's from Tennessee though, but I've always grown up in Ohio. Visit Tennessee like every year though, so, but really love Ohio.
Midwest?
Yes, it's in the Midwest around the Great Lakes. We're south of Lake Erie and north of the Ohio River.
Ah, yep. Okay. I think I know that. I think I know where I'm at. Okay.
Oh, that's good.
I think you guys' most famous figure at the moment is like called Jake Paul or whatever it is.
We have our share of famous people like Neil Armstrong and the Wright brothers, and
oh yeah.
Ohio can be pretty famous. I think we've had 8 presidents, so people tend to forget about us. But we're pretty famous.
Have you had any notable presidents, or is it just like the low line?
I don't. Most of our presidents haven't been too notable. Most of the Golden Age presidents. Well, not the Golden Age, the Gilded Age. I think McKinley was pretty famous. So.
McKinley's got a bit of a name. I know him, but I did do American history. But yeah.
And he did die. So.
Yeah.
Which gave us Theodore Roosevelt, my favorite president. So. It's kind of a shame.
My favorite, just because he's from the same clan as me, is Kennedy.
Ah. That's pretty good.
I'm a Kennedy myself, so I've got a bit of a fondness for the man.
I actually have a bust of JFK back home.
Oh, he's a great president, and you have to appreciate what he's done.
Yeah, he's really romanticized here, especially in the States. I don't know if he would be looked upon differently if he had survived his assassination, but I know everybody was very shook, and he's sort of been romanticized ever since he was killed.
I think for me it depends on what he continues to do after the Bay of Pigs.
Yeah.
It's like and he showed a lot of courage and strength through that. And then he also did things like he was the president who sent the first man to the moon. Like, you know, there's some big feats that he had under his presidency.
Yeah.
But it just depends. But yeah, it's like if he did go through and continue on, like, would he keep that up, or would he have gone the Nixon path? You know what I mean? Like, would he have gone that path where it was like, because you know he was coming up to a lot of wars, he was coming up to a lot of stuff. Like, what would have put him under the hammer if that stuff happened? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and even like Nixon, like if you forget Watergate, he was actually a pretty decent president, and done a lot of stuff that people really forget, all because of Watergate. So if JFK had a Watergate-like scandal, maybe we would have forgotten like him sending people to the moon and really starting the projects and everything.
Well, and the negotiations of the Bay of Pigs, which in my eyes is one of the greatest Cold War negotiations of all time. But
yeah. So it's very interesting to see what would have happened if things had turned out differently.
But I think it has to go to the same with even people like Abraham Lincoln. Like, he was so vital to the whole alteration of what happened in regards to the slave rights and all those kind of things, which is like an absolute feat. And he, you know, honest Abe, and he's got a good reputation to him. But what would have continued after that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially because he talks a little bit about what he wanted Reconstruction to be, but he never got to enact what his Reconstruction was, and so instead what we get is Johnson's and the other president's Reconstruction, which really kind of haphazardly and doesn't really do anything. So it would have been interesting to see what would have happened if Lincoln had stayed.
Well, yeah, like, and imagine if he did lead America into the like industrial age. Like, I feel like that would have been definitely a golden age for your guys' country if it did happen.
Yeah, and maybe we wouldn't have had appreciated Lincoln as much if he hadn't died. After the Civil War and all the romanticism wore off, and we see him more day to day. Maybe it wouldn't have been as good. So.
That's it, but that's what assassination does. It causes interest in like nearly like, especially with how you guys call it patriotism, but in New Zealand we see it as like nearly nationalism. What you guys have for your country sometimes.
I see.
And yeah, like the way you guys view the president, it's very unusual for us to see. And so yeah, it's just like for us, like I know that a lot of people do share my view in America, but for New Zealand, we're terrified of Trump, and not in a good way. Like he's one of our closest allies, so I don't know if we should be terrified of him. I think it's just like the idea that a country that has so much power and helps us so much in the Pacific area. And the anger that he has and portrays, it's an absolutely terrifying thing for our country.
Well, I think New Zealand can be safe. I don't think we're going to nuke New Zealand,
Oh, it's not, but the thing is, it's not like nuking, it's like the way that Trump threw his weight around when countries didn't vote for what he wanted to happen in regards to the Jerusalem stuff, you know what I mean?
Yes. There is that. So.
Like, there are just things like that are just, in regards to a small country that we, get money from you guys because we do favours for you guys, the fact that he's saying that he's going to remove that for us because we're, like, not just doing an individual vote, even though we're still allocating a certain amount of our dairy and meat industry to your country and forestry industry. Like, there's things that, like, we could get more money if we sold stuff to China.
Yeah.
We sell it to America because you guys are our allies, and the fact that he would take that funding away from us because we didn't agree to what he wants and he had a twist of patty about it.
Yeah.
It's a terrifying thing, and like other things, like one of the things that New Zealand thinks America is so silly about is the wall. The wall makes us so weird. Like, we think your guys' wall idea is it's just so silly.
Well, because, you guys have a big wall of sea.
Yeah, and it's just like we have a lot of immigrants and different people come to our country because our country is renowned for how open we are to other cultures. And from that, I've got into talking to people like Colombians and Puerto Ricans, and I've talked to all these different people, and all of them have said the same thing. They've said if we wanted to sneak into America, we wouldn't go across the border; we'd fly into the country.
Yes, that's what a lot of people shoot holes in the wall like that. But
yeah, it's just like, okay, cool. I can understand you're going to 1,000 people from any country a year, but then what about the other 20,000?
Yeah, I don't know if the wall will ever be built. It might, as a symbolic win for Trump, and it might stop some immigration, but it definitely, I don't think, would end all illegal immigration.
They recorded, I watched a documentary, they recorded that 75% of illegal immigration into America is through flying in boats.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, cool. So you're like, I can see like the symbolism to a war, but I definitely am. From my little island, however, I cannot see the benefit.
Yeah. Sometimes.
But yeah, that's pretty cool. It's interesting. It's Trump's given us a lot more to read about in the news.
Yeah, he's staying in the headlines, you know? Whether by choice or not, I don't know.
Yeah, and like things that New Zealanders would never ever do is having like family members become part of your political cabinet.
Yeah.
And so we found it very unusual, like how much power Trump allocated to people in his family.
Yeah, it is a bit weird. I don't think we've ever seen it before, really, to my knowledge. He really relied on his family.
You've got the Bushes and the Kennedys, like you've got allocated families, but the thing is that their family are politicians.
Yeah. And even then you didn't
So,
see like Bush take on Jeb as like a very high official. He was still, you know, governor of Florida doing his own thing.
No, but you did see like George take on W. Bush as in a role in like an election and stuff like that.
Yeah, you did see that.
But it was still it's still like even with the Kennedys, you still saw that like John and Robert and all that they still collaboratively worked together for election and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is fun. Just like Trump took it to that next level when like Ivanka became like a foreign affairs advisor. Like, what's the training to take that role?
Yeah.
Or like her husband, Jared Kushner, I think is his name, like being a senior advisor of the White House. Like, cool, he worked at Trump company for a bit, but what's he actually advising on? Like, is America all of a sudden going to invest in a hotel?
Yeah, it's very interesting to see what he's doing and how he will act within the coming years.
But yeah, we'll see. And like, all I have to say is like, the show up of Alabama, to like having that blue seat turn. It's Trump, I think, needs to be worried about what's going to happen with if they do come up to a vote where they find him not good enough for the job. And I feel like the minute the Democrats get the number, it's going to be a very, very quick vote.
I don't know what will happen. I don't, especially with Trump, you just never know. I predicted 2016 right, but a lot of people didn't, and it still surprised me in certain ways. And so it's kind of like always pulling up a mystery card.
Oh, definitely. Like in 2015 and early 2016, I was like shocked. I was truly shocked to hear that people like Jeb Bush and Ted Cruz were getting knocked out.
Yeah.
They were massive front runners for me in comparison to Trump. Heck, I even thought Carson would outlast Trump and just the first to drop, Fiorentina. Like, there were a lot of Republican candidates, but you put far stronger and far superior to what Trump would be. They just got picked off by him. So
yeah, and I think there's many reasons for that, and I don't think you can blame or pin it on any one thing. Certainly not just on Trump. It was a collaborative effort.
I think Trump understands what the younger Republican wants, which is a very important thing.
Yeah.
And I think why he got so much coverage was he realized that social media and so many other there were so many other ways to get yourself noticed in the Republican Party, and he did that. And like you look at people like Cruz, he was so slow to get on that like public the social media kind of view in comparison to Trump. And like, you know, they campaigned the old-fashioned way. and it's good, but it's not. It's not now. It's not what America is right now, and it just didn't work, and it clearly shows that way.
Yeah.
So he understands public opinion, which is very important, and he understands that bad publicity when you're trying to get he understands that bad publicity in some places is going to be good publicity in other places when it comes to America, and I think he really used it to his advantage.
Yeah, maybe being a reality TV star helped him to understand media and public relations and audience and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And like you look at people like when he was in California and he said some of those outlandish comments, and how many of the heavy progressive Democrats and stuff like that were outraged, and they posted comments about it. Trump literally got 20,000 people to all free to be advertising his policy.
Yeah.
Like, he understood, he knew what he was doing, and it was smart. It was very intelligent of him that he could get his own views.
Yeah, I think a lot of people underestimate Trump and think he's not smart and think he's rather dumb. And I think that they have their eyes in the sand sometimes, because I think he does. I mean, he's not the smartest person in the world, but I do think that he can play smart moves and do smart things.
Oh, definitely. And he's grew up in the public attention, so he understands. And I think that's a very important thing. Where a lot of politicians, especially ones like Dr. Carson and stuff like that, they just aren't big media images. Like you don't hear about Ben Carson every day on the news, even if you look at the political news spectrum and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not that standout of a person or a caricature.
It doesn't help that every time you hear him talk, you kind of want to go to sleep. You know?
Exactly. He sounds like a doctor, which is what he is.
Yeah. So, I guess everybody sounds like what they are.
Exactly, and I think, the only thing I did, like there's some things I loved about him. Like, I loved the fact that he got rid of the PPA, Trans-Pacific, the CPPA.
Oh, yeah.
Trans-Pacific Partnership Alliance. Because I saw the benefits for America, I saw the benefits for us, the country, and there was no middle ground that actually helped anybody.
Yeah.
And so I saw the benefits, and I was like, yeah, this is, like, for a small country like New Zealand, this isn't a deal for us, and for a big country like America, it's not the right deal. It's helping all those middle parties like Japan and Australia and Canada, which is good for their countries, but it's just not best for us. And so I liked it for that. But then I think the only thing I really don't like about Trump is that he's got the temperament of a 3-year-old child.
That is true. He needs to restrain himself more, have more self-control.
Yeah, definitely. And like, the thing is that if you choose to become a politician or a public image, like, that's a choice you made. No one else put your name in the candidacy box or in the election box. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you stood for that role. You went and became the president. You decided that you were going to bypass being a politician, and you decided to become the president. That's what your job was. You applied for it, and the American populace gave you the job. Now do your job and stop being a 3-year-old child who's literally like complaining because some guy had a toy that now matches your. Like, I understand North Korea is scary. You don't like the fact that they have missiles and stuff like that, but it's like, don't hurl insults at a guy who can throw the same toy that you.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Would be better, if Trump could restrain himself.
Definitely, and like the fact, like the thing is, if I was to only look at economy and stuff like that, like, Trump's okay. He's definitely not the best president you guys have had in terms of economy and the rise of economy.
Yeah.
but he's not the worst. He's not like
Yeah,
actually, not even Obama. Obama wasn't bad. The public media's put him out as bad because Trump keeps tweeting about it.
I think Obama was a very kind of like Trump. He's divisive, and where like if you like him, you love him sometimes, but if you don't like him, you don't like him, and it's hard to sort of see him both ways sometimes.
He was like, if I was going to be honest, he was a middle of the ground prime minister. He was a middle of the ground. He wasn't like I wouldn't put him up on the wall, you know, on Mount Rushmore anytime soon. He's definitely no Theodore Roosevelt or Abraham Lincoln or anything like that.
Yeah, and I think you did see some people putting him up there with those people, but I think a lot of that was having rose-colored glasses right at the end of his term, with an unpopular president coming in.
Definitely. But the thing is, I also would have put him in the same category as, I don't know, John Adams or something, someone that you just can't remember.
Well, now
He,
you brought up John Adams, my second favorite president, so I'm willing to defend him to the death. So
I apologise, but for people like the general population, unless they like enjoy politics a lot, John Adams wouldn't be a renowned president.
that is true. He is often forgotten, which is actually a big shame. But I'd probably put Obama in the 30s in terms of rankings out of 45.
Yeah, definitely, and I can agree to that. But like, so I would definitely put him like in the middle, where you have people like Bill Clinton. Like he's in that same category of president. Like not a changing president who changed the world, but he did his job and he didn't let your country get blown up.
Yeah.
Congrats. That's what you need to do as the president at the moment. Is just his presidency started in a recession. That's not a great way to start off a presidency, but that wasn't his fault. He had to do what he had to do. Like, yeah, he had to give some money away. But at the long end of the run, he stabilised an economy, which is a very hard thing to do.
Yeah, and I mean, part of it's the economy probably coming back to shape, but Obama definitely did help it a bit.
Oh, definitely. And like the thing is that people like undercredit him for what he achieved as a president, and he did some amazing things as president. He did some dumb things as well, like he moved troops too quickly out of Iraq.
Oh yeah.
His public health care is like average. It's not great like everyone said it was. Like there are some things that I definitely wouldn't say were keynotes in his presidency. But at the end of the day, he isn't like an H.R. Bush or an H.W. Like he wasn't like an H. Bush or anything like that. He wasn't Bush Senior. Sorry, is the easiest way to go with that. Like there are presidents that were a lot worse than him.
Yeah. Very interesting. Actually, they're releasing a sort of a documentary on Obama's last year, I think next weekend, which I might go see because it seems interesting.
Yeah, and like the thing is like, and by no means, like I don't think I've ever really liked an American politician in the modern age presidency. I can admit that. Like, I didn't really like Clinton. I didn't care much for W. Bush. Don't really care much for like George Bush. Don't, you know, and I'm Trump at all. Like American prime ministers at the moment are a bit underwhelming in comparison to what American presidents in the past did. But I think that America is going through a major change. It's a social change, and it's both good and bad. Like on one end you've got the Kardashians, and on the other end, you know, like the discussion about slavery and equality is becoming stronger than ever.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
So yeah, it's very much like there are points in America that are low and points high, and America is just trying to work out what it is because it's realizing that it's not that young of a country anymore, which is great.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what 2020 and forward brings us.
Oh, definitely, and like 2020 is going to be a big number for a lot of countries. This like the last election. This is the most watched election overseas that anyone's ever seen between Clinton and Trump.
Yeah.
And like people were shocked to hear that Trump and Hillary got both made it into the thing because we from our end of the spectrum we were pretty certain on Cruz and Bernie getting in.
Yeah, I think that is who a lot of people did, but it was interesting to see Clinton and Trump get in.
Yeah, well, it was, and like the thing is, I think they see like through their debates, Trump's acting like a child and Clinton doesn't know what to do. You can see that she clearly prepared in a deep conversation and argument, and instead she got this giant toddler who she had to kind of mix it up with. And the same that Trump, I imagine, was ready for an intelligent, progressive Democrat, and instead he got Clinton.
Yeah, it was a very interesting election. It'd be interesting. I don't know if Trump will run in 2020. He might not. And if he does, it will be interesting to see if he wins and who will the Democrats put forward to challenge him.
Yeah, well, it's going to be exciting, I think, for everyone. Like, I love American politics. Interesting things going on at the moment, but we'll see. It has a big effect for smaller countries like us that share similar landlines.
Yeah.
And it's, yeah, like, I know it sounds silly, but I think Americans quite often don't take into concept what their country does internationally and has effect on it internationally, and they don't look at the international policies that a lot of presidents put in. So all I ask is, when you vote, have a look at your candidates, see if for whatever area if you're voting red or blue. Think about us little guys.
Yeah, I know it's very interesting because I'm very attuned to East Asian politics, at least dealing with American foreign politics in the area, and it's a very big hotbed, but then a lot of people don't give it the attention it deserves anymore. So.
Oh, well, it's such an important thing, and the thing is that America is such a large population with such a minimal output of actual producing compared to other countries, and you guys import so much stuff, and I feel, especially you guys, you need to have a look at what international policies take effect in your guys' country, because imagine if you had a president that was like Trump says he's pro-American jobs, but he still hasn't put tariffs on importing. It's just stuff like that where you kind of wonder what does Trump really care about his international statements, or is he kind of just doing it for a show?
Yeah.
As much as supporting Israel did he actually help Israel by changing your guys' embassy to Jerusalem?
Yeah, I don't.
It's just it's an interesting thing, and I think Trump is more about the statement than the thing. But I've had enough dissing Trump. Let's talk about it.
Alrighty. Well, what else is there to talk about?
Oh, lately, I have to tell you, you've got me hooked.
That's right, Naruto. Such a great show.
Oh, it's brilliant, and I'm loving it. If you told by my Senate,
I'm glad you are.
I'm a little bit addicted.
I know. I remember watching it. Well, oh my gosh, it's probably been 12 years ago, if not longer. when it was first airing, and oh, memories.
Yeah, definitely, and it's come back for me, and it's really exciting.
Yeah, and I know Naruto is one of my big gateway anime that really got me interested into the genre as a whole, and so it's very interesting to see you getting into it and liking it. And luckily for you, there's a lot to watch, so you won't run out of anything anytime soon.
Yeah, well, I think I'm on episode 40 something that I've been watching in the last 3 days or 4 days or something.
Wow, that's pretty good. There was a time when I could watch 26 episodes in 2 days. Can't really do that anymore. I'm not as strong as I used to be.
Oh, I think, like, because when I was 16, I graduated high school.
Yeah.
I took a year of travelling, and then I came home and I didn't do anything for maybe a year. And from that, hey, in total I racked up 2,500 minutes worth of 2,500 hours worth of movies and television. I caught up on everything that whole last year.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Like, I think my worst week was I slept 12 hours in a whole week or something, and I just watched everything. Like, I think it was the first year, yeah, Game of Thrones. Oh no, it was the Game of Thrones. That was quite a while ago. Man, what would that be? It has to be some show I watched. But I think I watched the whole. Oh, it might have been Batman, one of the Batman TV shows.
Wow.
Because I love comic books.
Yeah.
And I watched a hell of a lot of comic books shows back then. And yeah, I think I watched like every episode of that for it was a whole year's worth of episodes. So it's cartoons, and like obviously with anime and stuff, you can imagine how many episodes there were.
Yeah. There was a time, I think, when I got addicted to anime, I watched like 10 episodes a day and just doing it all the time. And if I didn't get enough anime, I felt withdrawals almost. And not my proudest moment, but I did watch a lot of anime, so it was kind of a win-lose situation.
Yeah, well, it's really cool. I'm like getting up to a really good part now. I don't know if you have listened to it, but I'm really in some of the character development. Especially with Naruto, a lot of the characters have got quite a lot of backstory to them, which is really cool.
Yeah, and you're not even to part of my favorite character yet, so you still got a lot to come.
Yeah, but I'm really liking, at the moment, one of my favorite villains is Orochimaru.
He's very good. He's definitely up there.
And he's creepy. He's like, creepy.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed with one of the big characters that I've been in, like really like. Rock Lee.
Oh yeah.
He's cool. I'm really liking Shino Eberami, the bug guy.
Yeah.
He's uber creepy. That bugs live inside him and stuff like that.
That is very creepy, especially when you learn that his entire clan does that too, and you're.
Yeah, it's like a clan of people that let bugs live.
Yeah, not the clan that I would want to be born into.
Yeah, and I really like Sasuke. Word test. Sasuke. No, it's Sasuke.
Yes.
Uchiha. Is that right? Is that how you say that?
Yeah, Uchiha.
Yeah, Sasuke Uchiha. He's pretty good too.
Yes, Obito is a big fan of him.
Yeah, I know that, and he's named after another character in the thing, isn't he? That I've got to see eventually.
Yes, that's in the second series part. I don't even know how you would describe it in Shippuden. So you still get a while before you meet Obito.
So is it pronounced Shippuden? Is it?
I always pronounce it Shippuden. And I've always seen everybody
Okay,
else.
because when I read that, I read Shippuden.
I think it's Shippuden. I've never seen it anywhere else, but
I'll go with it. I believe you. I believe your Japanese knowledge more so than mine.
yeah, it definitely helps. Well, it helped both ways that I knew a lot of anime before studying Japanese, and then studying Japanese has allowed me to get pronunciation more in tune, I think.
What made you decide to study Japanese?
Mainly because of anime and other parts of Japanese culture, and the foreign language requirement at my university, so it all worked out.
Because, yeah, that's like, it's something that I did at high school, but I never thought about taking. If I knew I was going to join the finance sector, because I work for a bank now.
Oh.
I definitely would have taken Japanese as a class, because it would have been really good for me, because our company's starting to move into more of the Asian market.
No. Could have really helped you out.
But it would have really helped me out, especially if I could speak Japanese fluently and read it and understand like the business culture, especially behind Japanese culture, because it's quite a strong business culture. I know they have.
Yes, definitely a lot there.
What are some other characters that I've really fallen in love with at the moment? Gara. He's creepy though. He's creepy.
Oh yeah, he's definitely creepy. He creeped me out when I was younger.
He was like, and then my favorite. Oh, I forget what the Japanese call it, but I'll try to find it. But it's the submissive female character. Or men can have that character trait too, but it's Hinata.
Oh,
she's really cool.
Yeah, I forget the term.
It's not an offensive term. Like, it's not meant to be like sexual submissive. It's more like, which is it's very unique to Australia, to Asian Japanese culture. But yeah,
Hinata is my favorite female character.
Oh,
best girl.
She's so great, and she's like just her kindness makes me happy.
Yeah. Well, she's like a big ball of kindness and cuteness and.
Yeah, and then just her like of Naruto, I think that helped for me.
Yeah. It's always interesting.
Definitely, and I'm really excited because, I'm excited to see Shippuden because it shows Naruto and that at an older age, which will be cool. That'll be a different dynamic for me to watch because I've never, I'm still watching them at they're 11 and 12, 13 years old kind of age.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting to see because there's actually a lot of, a couple of the major shonen anime do time skips, and Naruto does this between I don't want to call them seasons, but I guess I'll call them seasons between the original Naruto and Shippuden. They do like a 3-year time skip, and I think it really makes Shippuden darker and more mature, which I think appeals to the audience who has aged since Naruto's come out.
Yeah, but even some of the traits that you see in just original Naruto, sorry about that. You're drawn to how dark it is in comparison to some of the other more anime.
Yeah.
Like me and Mitzi were talking about how anime is like Fairy Tail and Dragon Ball Z. How they're not as dark as some of the stuff in Naruto, even though Naruto is considered a light anime.
Yeah.
And it's really fascinating because you're like, oh man, this is a light anime, but then it's like 11-year-olds killing each other.
Yeah, and I think especially for people and kids who haven't seen darker shows, who are only attuned to like American cartoons and other cartoons, and then they see this Naruto, they get drawn into it. And I think that's one of the reasons why it's such a big gateway anime for a lot of people.
Oh, definitely. And like the thing is that like talking to different people, like a couple of darker animes, like I've watched. What was the time one? Where his father died and he went, his mother or some relative died, and he went back in time.
You talking about Erased?
Erased, that's the one.
That one was really good.
Relative that, no, it was a girl in his city area. I mean,
yeah, that one was really good.
So good, but such a dark concept.
Yeah, very dark.
And stuff. I'm gonna you probably gonna like. Cause I'm not really, other than fairy tale, I haven't really liked to watch anime. But that side in Naruto that if you don't like your very like go happy light anime, you've still got things like Naruto, which is really cool, and I love that in comparison to the American cartoon scene.
Yeah.
Because America, you either got light or dark, and there's nothing really filling the void much in between, except maybe superhero films.
Yeah.
And it makes it such a unique thing. Like, anime has got variety of categories. It's got like genre. It's awesome, and like you can always find something that you love.
Yeah, it's very helpful because there's different genres that I don't think a lot of other anime or even movies really delve into a lot, like mecha and magical girls and some of these darker animes that American cartoons and even movies don't really go into. And so it's able to do a lot of different things and hit a lot of different points that I think any other medium's really able to hit upon. And then, of course, there's a lot of overlap with other mediums, but I still think it shows its strengths.
One of the big shows is Death Note. Like, you watch Death Note and you're like, the anime is really good. It's like horror comedy. Sick, as well as it's got these moments where you're laughing at it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. There's
and
a
you're
lot
like, what's this? And then you try to see them do something similar to that, even with the actual Netflix remake of Death Note there, and they just can't capture the same humour and the darkness that's in the movie.
Yeah.
In comparison to the anime.
Yeah.
And it's like it just shows you how much of an impressive art form anime can be.
Yeah, it definitely can hit a lot of stuff, and I know a lot of like even movies that try to do anime and do live action usually don't succeed and fail. And so we have anime though, so we can always hit that niche and that medium, and I think it's really doing stuff that no other medium can really do except for manga, but even that's a little different.
Oh, definitely. And like the thing is, it's like a whole thing because something based off a manga is based purely off the end, and you can see like much more in depth. They talk about hand signals, hand strike depth, the backstory of the Uchiha clan a bit more, and they go into a detail that's even more intense than what anime is, and anime is considered intense back even in America. It's impressive that, and you can see why there's such a
Yeah. There's definitely a lot going on.
on top of that, it's like I've always been into cosplay. It's one of my favourite things. I've done it. I've created Thor armors.
Wow.
My brother and me an Iron Man armor set. Like we're pretty into our cosplay, and I never really understood anime cosplay because I never really watched anime much. Like, I watched an occasional show, but I never really divulged into like Sailor Moon or Naruto.
Yeah.
Even Fairy Tail as much as others have, because I just watched it and stopped watching it. But you can see why there's such a cosplay culture that has attached itself to anime, because the characters have those backstories that make you want to be them and create them because you know about them. It's not like playing as Batman and he's dark and intense and his parents died and that's all you know about.
Yeah.
Like, you know Naruto, you know that he has a crush on this girl, you know that his parents both died and that inside of him is the nine-tailed fox demon and stuff like that. Like, there's actually like an intense thing that you can hold where you can kind of, and like, as you watch every episode, and he becomes this nearly lifelike character just because of how well his story is driven. And it's the same with other ones, like, even people like, who's a real good character that is a good show that they've got a backstory for him, even though you didn't really watch him much until, obviously, he got a bit older. Konohamaru, the honourable grandson.
Yeah.
You meet him on the first, like, on episode 3 or 4, I think it is, of Naruto.
Yeah.
And he's this annoying 3-year-old twat who is frustrating and you don't want to listen to him and you just want him to go away. And from what I've been told, by the time you get to like 3rd series of Naruto, which is now his son Boruto, he's like a fan favourite and classic like feature of the television show, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it shows how much characters and the culture of anime has developed and how much people invest in.
Yeah, it definitely has grown, and I think it helps that Naruto has done a lot and it's grown with its audience and has developed these characters over hundreds of episodes.
Oh, definitely. And like, you can see the successful animes because you can see them just by how long they've been running. Like, you've got like things like Full Metal Alchemist. They've got such a huge fan base, and you can see why, and like why people cosplay as those characters. It's because, again, it's just that they've gone on for so long and they've given them something to hook on from the very first episode that you just want to keep watching it.
Yeah.
It's an impressive feat, and I'm deadly terrified that after I finish watching Naruto that I'm going to get on to something like Full Metal Alchemist and divulge myself.
Full Metal Alchemist is really great. If you ever want to watch it, I always recommend watching the original Full Metal Alchemist, which I think is 2003 or 5 or something, then taking a break, then watching Brotherhood, because Brotherhood, what had happened was the original Full Metal Alchemist, it had caught up with the manga, and instead of waiting or doing fillers, it decided to do its own ending. And so when you watch that around halfway or so, it sort of divulges from the manga. But Brotherhood is done, I think, later, 2011 or something, and it goes over the entire thing again, but sticks to the manga, and so you kind of have 2 completely different shows about the same topic, and it's very interesting.
It does sound interesting. I can understand why you'd be confused if you watch one after another, because you're kind of going back in time and restarting again.
Yeah, and I always recommend a break because you sort of get bored with, because at first it's like the same thing, and so you're like, oh, it's the same thing, but it really picks up and goes in its own special way after a certain point. So
cool. I'll remember that, and I'll definitely do that. Like, that's one of my, what else has been put on my list? Mitzi said that if I like dark, I should try Death Note, and I've watched 1 or 2 episodes, so I'm definitely going to try and get back into that and actually watch a full series.
yeah.
Mitzi's telling both of us off because we haven't watched Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, yeah. I mean, my cousins get into it. I know some references, but maybe I should, for the sake of it, watch a lot, or at least more of it.
Definitely. Well, especially like you more so than me becoming quite synonymous with the anime culture in nation states.
Yeah.
So it might be a good thing because someone might ask you about Dragon Ball Z and they'll catch you with your pants down because you haven't watched it.
I know. I've seen so much anime. I've watched, I think, like 110 days worth, probably more, honestly. And I know all these other things, and they might ask me about a staple like Dragon Ball Z, and I'll be like, well, I know a little bit, secondhand, but
They'll judge you though. That's the thing.
I think Mitzi's judging me all the time.
I think he's constantly judging you.
Yeah, he probably sits back in the chat, just like, man, this guy hasn't even watched Dragon Ball Z.
Who does he think he is?
Yeah, like, who cares about all those other anime?
Yeah, right. No, I think, yeah. I like from what I've told Mitzi, it's such a like it's becoming a generic in Western culture. Yeah, no Western culture. My brain's not working on this.
Nah.
It's such a staple, like that has become such a staple in the Western culture that it's nearly losing its anime kind of title.
Yeah, I think that's almost a sad point to a lot of the most mainstream shows. Is a lot of people, especially those not attuned to what anime is, don't see what shows that are anime. Like when I first started watching Naruto, I didn't know about anime per se, about what it actually was, and so it wasn't until I digged a little deeper that I really started to uncover what it was and what anime is and everything.
Oh yeah, definitely, and it's it's just sorry, I'm just reading something. It's just popped up on my screen, and it's such a niche culture that the second you find out about it, it feels like they grab you with like a million tendrils and drag you into it.
Yeah. And I think
which is actually really cool, and it's really impressive that the culture has that kind of that pull power.
Yeah, it definitely, I think, draws you in, and the more that you watch, the more you get invested into the medium as a whole, and so you just keep trugging along and watching until you're a full-on otaku and you know nothing else. Not speaking from experience or anything.
The way I'm going, if I keep hanging out with you peahats.
Yeah. Soon you'll be a full convert.
Oh yeah, especially how much you guys are kind of feeding me with it. She has are feeding me with anime after anime. You're lucky, Lou. You don't have to teach me about ramen. I already have a deep, passionate love for ramen.
That's good. I'm glad I don't have to teach everybody everything. It would get kind of stressful.
No, ramen's one of my favorite. I think it's in my top 5 foods of my life.
Wow. That's good.
Oh, how could it not be? If there's noodles, eggs, and meat in a bowl with a nice broth, how can you not like it?
Yeah.
It's a 10 out of 10 already.
Yeah, you're becoming a genuine Naruto fan already.
Oh, I love it, and it's like not in my current city. I don't like there's a ramen shop in my current city, but their ramen's quite average. But there's a ramen shop in the city I lived in before, and it was like a proper Japanese run, like ramen shop with the fans and everything.
Wow.
And it was the best ramen in the city. It was like $10 a bowl, so it was pretty affordable for New Zealand takeaway food.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go to a ramen shop tomorrow if everything pans out alright with a couple of my friends. Seems pretty genuine. I've been there before. It's really good though, so I'm looking forward to it.
What's your favorite kind of ramen?
Oh, I forget. It's like, I forget the name, but it's like a traditional pork-based broth with pork belly in it. Probably my favorite.
That's mine as well, with an egg in it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, egg. I love the egg.
Oh, the egg's the best. It's like this nice hard-boiled egg that's just sitting in there, ready to demolish.
Oh, it's so good.
It's uber tasty. I think the thing that I didn't like it, but now is I'm really not a big fan of like people trying to do like hip Californian kind of like hipster style ramen.
Yeah.
Like, why change something if it's really good already?
Yeah.
And that's what they've done. And they've done things like they've made steamed dumplings, but then like their steamed dumplings just like a bit of bread wrapped around like a piece of pork belly with no seasoning, and you're like, how is this good?
Wow.
And like it's just so I'm very much like I'm loving the traditional Asian ramen and dumplings and stuff like that. And it's just if you touch that, why? Because Japanese food is so good already. Like there's sushi, there's ramen, there's katsu. Oh, katsu is one of my favorites too.
Oh yeah.
I like Japanese food a lot.
Yeah, I like Japan overall too. I won't say everything because I'm sure somebody will stump me with like ritual suicides or something. But I definitely like a lot of
shiitake mushrooms straight out of the forest.
Yeah, like here. You said you like everything Japanese, and I'm like, well, maybe not everything, but a lot.
You like popular culture. Yeah.
Oh, I like even like traditional Japanese culture. I went and I took a whole semester on performance traditions, and so we learned about a lot of different types of theater in Japan, stretching back from its classical period all the way up to today.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I'm even taking a couple Japanese literature classes dealing with classical and then like medieval and Edo period literature. So it's very interesting.
Oh, I can imagine. It would be something I would find very difficult. It would be very interesting.
Yeah. Well, we translate everything in English, so it makes it much easier.
It would make it easier. Imagine if you had to learn.
Yeah, if they just provided the Japanese text to us, I'd be like, yeah, where do I drop out?
Can I type this into Google Translate?
Yeah, like, how well will Google Translate this? Or where's the English copy?
It'd be worth it, definitely. But yeah, it was a really cool culture, and there's a lot of stuff I'm starting to find that I like about it, like food, definitely out there in the priority list for me.
Yeah.
Anime starting to make its way to me.
I hope it makes it all the way to the top.
Oh, I love comic books. Like it's a hard one to me in my geek culture repertoire.
Well, maybe you really like manga.
I might like it, but from what I've seen of manga, it's not the same type of narration as comic book. Like the reason why I like comic books is because it's a simple read, where I heard manga quite advanced to read sometimes.
Sometimes, depends on the one you get.
Yeah, where with what I'm watching, I'm reading at the moment, which is like Deadpool and Doctor Strange, a lot of the Marvel stuff.
Oh yeah.
It's really easy to intake before I go to bed or something like that.
Yeah.
Which makes it a lot easier for me to read because I'll just grab a comic and read while I go to sleep and then come.
Yeah, well, maybe if anime can't reach your number one, we'll settle for top 5.
Oh, definitely top 5 at the moment.
Oh, that's good then. Don't have to work much harder.
I choose Naruto as a video game. Free.
Oh, Naruto has some great video games. My favorite, though, is one for the PlayStation 2. Such a long time ago.
Oh, wow. That is a long time ago. I'll have to have a look, because I've definitely seen some. I've got quite an extensive Steam library.
Yeah, I don't know if they have it on Steam, but there's a couple good ones on Steam.
But definitely putting a couple of Naruto games on Steam probably isn't the worst thing, now that I'm understanding what because I found that when I tried to play one of the games and I didn't really understand it.
Yeah.
And that drew me off a lot. But now that I'm starting to understand what the culture is and the backstory behind Naruto, I feel like it's going to be a lot easier to watch.
Yeah, it's definitely really good.
To read. Let's have a look what they've got. What's your favourite game on Naruto?
What?
On PlayStation.
My favorite, what was it called? It's like Ultimate Ninja 2 or something?
Ultimate Ninja Storm 2?
Let me check. No, it's not that one. Oh, what was it?
Are they predominantly fighting games, or are they like free walkarounds, or what?
I've seen a couple where they're mainly fighting games, and the one that I like, it's Naruto Ultimate Ninja 2. Not Ultimate Ninja Storm, it's just Ultimate Ninja 2. But I've seen a couple that I've not played them, but I've seen some ones where you can walk around and do some stuff. But I imagine it'd probably mainly be fighting. But it would be cool if it was like, if there was one that was full-on roleplay, sort of how we're gonna do our Naruto roleplay.
Oh, I'm super pumped for that. Like I've got to finish my character. I must admit, I was really sort of gun.
Yeah, your character's turning out pretty well. I'm getting pretty excited myself.
It'll be cool. Have we started posting on the page yet? If they have, people should come and join us, because that'll be quality, and I'll just do a shameless plug.
Yeah, people would join the Naruto roleplay, which I doubt. I mean, we're like the only ones. But if they did, if we could get a bigger roleplay, it'd be very interesting.
Oh, definitely. By the way, the Naruto roleplay is half of the ninja, for those who don't know.
Yeah. Very, very interesting. I like just building the characters, too.
Oh, it's super cool, and I'm really enjoying your character, Ryu. He is looking very cool.
Yeah, I can't wait till he gets... Originally, we had made our characters when they were at their final form, you know, super powered and everything, and now we're going back to like Guinea, you know, and so I have to like tailor it down so much. But now it's made me really excited to get to my final form. So
you've got a goal to work for, right?
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to seeing Mitz play his character. His character's starting to turn out real nice there as well.
Oh yeah, he did a really nice bio for it.
Yeah, I had a look. I just saw it now, and it's he's going to have very interesting backstory, I guess, to be about in Australia, an interesting way that he played this character. You can tell he's got a lot of passion for it, which is really cool.
Yeah, my bio's not nearly as interesting or deep as that. More
From
classic.
what I know about him, though, he watches
Yeah, like out of me, Mitz, and Obi, I'm behind the most, but I'm starting to catch up. But they're definitely like much farther along, mainly because I've gone off and watched other anime while they've stick with this one.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited. I think I need to just so I can finalize. Having trouble picking out my jitsu. That's the real big thing for me.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, you finished yet? And I'm like, jitsu for me. I need to sort out my jitsu.
Yeah, it was kind of hard for me too, picking out just a select few.
At the moment, I've got some alright jitsu, and I like my character as well. I think Masato is looking quite cool.
Yeah, he's definitely starting to turn out to be a really cool character.
And I like the fact he's Earth Chakra, kind of same level, which is nice.
Yeah, Earth Chakra is definitely going to be my next nature.
I think he's going to be my first and fire.
Yeah, I mainly chose Fire Nature to be my first because I'm going to be from the Sarutobi clan. So, and since they're such big fire users, I thought that it would be fitting.
Oh, definitely. And once I work through with Mitzi there, we're definitely going to I think, work out the final pieces for Matt Soto and kind of work out his clan, and I'll write out his backstory for him. But I decided to go with the Earth Release Swamp of the Underworld as his special skill, which is a really cool thing, and I'm really excited to play that. He's kind of he can cause like a quicksand effect underneath people, which is going to be really exciting.
Yeah.
And as well with his he's got a lot of earth nature skills that are based around protecting people and protecting people around.
Yeah, I know my final character is definitely. I really like the wall jutsus, and they're super cool. And so my final character has a ton of them, and different. It's just super fun.
Yeah, one of the ones that I've got at the moment is the Earth Release Rock Shelter.
Yeah.
Which I'm really excited to use. The idea that I can cocoon my stone wall will be really cool, especially when I use it with our my underground projection fish technique. So being able to hop underneath the dirt and kind of tunnel around, which would be really cool.
Yeah. What really is going to be fun is when you see some of these jutsu in action when you get farther along in the anime.
Well, I've seen the underground project. One of the reasons why I start was I really liked this concept of being able to sink into the earth.
Yeah, it's like you're swimming or something.
Exactly, like you're swimming underneath this earth soil, and you're not breaking the soil, just sinking into it, which is really. And then that mixed in with rock shelter and fist rock technique. And I thought it was just a really cool dynamic to be able to have a really good taijutsu, and then mix that in with a fist rock technique jutsu.
Yeah, I wonder if you could use the earthen shelter and then sink into the earth and nobody would know, and then you could use it to get around your opponent.
That's one of the ones I was thinking about, is the fact that it
could be very interesting.
Building, and I behind them and stuff, so it's gonna be cool. And I've got shadow clone as well as the clone jutsu as well, and my earth release shadow clone makes I guess the best way to describe it is a sludgy mud kind of clone.
Yeah.
Physical clone, which will be really cool. It means that I can multi attack that doesn't just disappear like your ordinary clone jutsu.
Yeah, it provides extra clonage. I think it's much sturdier or something.
He also knows how to do a basic clone jutsu as well. So of course, it's part of the Elite Villages Pathfinder Academy. So
yeah,
he knows how to do that stuff as well. So it'll be exciting to see how he decided to make it. But I'm really excited that people do eventually end up joining. If we can get them one more than one squad going, I think that would be really exciting. There's some fun dynamics with that.
Yeah.
Which would be cool.
I think we're going to have Connelly join us as well. So, I mean, if we could get like 3 or 4 other players, we could form another squad. If not, we might all just be one big squad.
Yeah, well, if we can get another 3 people, I think Mitzi would take a squad as a sensor.
Yeah.
And from that, we'd have, two threes, which would be really cool.
Yeah.
And by then, if we keep growing and growing, which would be absolutely amazing, it could become its own kind of living, breathing thing.
Yeah.
It'd be really cool if we could kind of develop that, so we have quite a few parties and stuff like that, and to connect. It'd be a really cool and interesting dynamic to see if we could get an RP to grow that way.
Yeah, it'd be really cool if other people joined. But if not, we'll still have each other, and it'll be really fun with growing our characters into superhumans.
Oh, definitely, and it's a cool character growth concept. The other RPs that we have there are cool, but they don't have the same growth concept that this Naruto one does, which will be really exciting to see.
Yeah.
Get bored with characters that, because of the way True Universe works quite easily, quite often, thing to see if people actually go through with that. Because I know a lot of people are going to be quite defensive of their characters.
Yeah. You get really attached to it.
Definitely. So it'll be interesting to see if people are willing to kill their character.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to lean to probably not, because we spent so much time on it.
Oh, I definitely understand that and stuff, and I can embrace that, but it's like, it's the D&D concept. To make a character that you can make into one, like, he dies, you know?
Yeah, I know I was involved with a D&D group a couple years ago, and it was a brutal roleplay, and my characters actually had 2, and they survived for an entire semester of school, and then they both died within like half an hour of each other, and it was devastating.
Yeah, exactly, and my character in the Underdark was D&D, and my character was so close to dying, and I'm like, oh man, so I can make him more strong and stuff like that, and it's just like, it's part of a dynamic of game that, like, people quite often forget when it comes to role-playing, that your character can die.
Yeah.
And I would be really excited to see that happen more often, especially in a role-play universe that is so connected to the concept of death.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what we do.
Definitely, and it'll be good because at the end of the day, like our characters aren't immortal gods. Like they have to have a human aspect to them. Like they have to be able to lose a battle or get killed, or not every fight's a win.
Yeah. So, Naruto's still alive after. Spoiler alert, he, as far as I'm aware, hasn't died yet, so.
Oh, definitely, but how many of his friends have in those stories? Like, I don't know them all, obviously. Started watching nearly, he's not met 30 episodes there.
Yeah.
Enough of his friends and people that you'd consider at least semi-main characters have died in the story.
Yeah, and oof. What part are you at right now? Are you still in the forest?
They've just gotten out of the forest and they're doing the preliminary fights at the moment. And Sasuke lost his battle.
Wow.
And we find out that Sasuke is probably never going to not be a Genin.
Yeah, ooh. Yeah, I remember those parts. You're starting to get to really interesting parts. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, and it will be really exciting, and I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the roleplay and everything about it. Naruto's kind of centering my life right now.
Yeah. I mean, it can really take hold, and can be pretty overpowering sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I've got to watch out because my wife just heard me. I think she just gave.
She giving you dirty looks from across the room?
Yeah, especially after the statement of Naruto's currently my life.
You're like, don't worry, it'll just be a part of it. You're still a major part, but Naruto's entered it. Maybe we can get into a three-way relationship. But shows like that can definitely be entertaining and engaging and just take over. And
We'll see, and it's gonna be exciting.
yeah,
Yeah.
I hope it turns out really well, because sometimes we have so much hope and then it falls flat on its face.
Oh, definitely, and I'm tiptoeing around spoilers, so it's gonna be exciting. Yeah.
I know, now that you're in our group, we're trying to limit ourselves so much with spoilers.
But I'm catching up quick, like Obi was saying that I'm doing a very rate how quickly I'm getting through the room.
Yeah, it'll be helpful once you catch up, because I know I'm not really that close to where Mitz and Obito are, but they've spoiled, well, maybe not them, but I know some people have spoiled stuff for me. But I've dealt with it and I've lived. It's what I get for not finishing it sooner.
Oh, I don't want to, because I want the childlike excitement that you get with watching a show like Naruto. That it's like,
Yeah, it's a certain quality.
Definitely. Top's about to die, so I feel like that might bring us to the end nearly.
Oh, all right.
My Long Island iced tea is nearly gone.
Oh no.
I know.
I finished my tea pretty early into the show.
So you haven't got tea. This isn't even for tea anymore.
I got a tea bag in a cup, so I definitely had tea to start with.
I think next time we do this, I feel like we need to correspond tea so I can get the right tea. So we can mix it up. You know, we can drink the same tea from across the world.
Wow.
Wouldn't that be nice?
That would be deep.
Like today we are trying. Wait, aren't you guys in different countries? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how much we care about tea. I'm not a big tea guy. I'm more of a coffee guy, but I can drink a cup of tea from time to time.
I like
preferably a herbal or a green would be nice.
Yeah, I definitely like green tea. So I'm sure we can do something.
Oh, it sounds delightful. Because if you try and feed me some of that black tea or English breakfast, I probably won't be too pleased.
Yeah, actually, I didn't like tea until I realized you could put sugar in it. So.
But now you like tea.
Yeah, well, that's probably been like 12 years ago. So.
I used to like tea, but then I realized that I put too much sugar in my tea.
Oh. Yeah, that can be a danger. I just use honey
dangerous, now. Exactly. My nan got diabetes from too much sugar in her tea.
Ooh, wow. Yeah, I tried to limit. Well, I've been limiting my sugar use in my coffee because I used to use a lot and a lot of creamer, but I'm trying to hold back some.
Hold back, yeah, definitely.
But
I really appreciated it. It was enjoyable.
Yeah,
I like the chat.
I definitely learned a lot about New Zealand and your New Zealand's views about Trump, and then talking about anime and Naruto. It's been a really big blast. I think this is our longest episode of Talks Over Tea, too.
Oh, I'm glad to have been a part of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you for having me on. I hope you come back again and we can maybe put some other. It'd be nice to have a group of us. Try and get Ovi and Mitzi in.
Yeah, maybe next time we can get everybody on and it'll be really interesting. I might change up my format from TalkShoe to Discord now that I know how to work it.
See, look at this. I've changed it. You can. It's all free and all over the world now. Modernized.
Yeah, you're changing and progressing my show to new limits.
And we can all listen in now and all can participate. You could get a panel. You could get like group questions. Get people to come in and ask questions while we drink tea.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I'm sure we can think of new ways to do the show.
Definitely. Well, thank you very much, and it was good seeing you.
Yeah, good seeing you. Thanks for coming on to Talks Over Tea.
No problem, yeah. Cool. Is that a big enough gap for you to cut out?
All right. Well, I will leave the call now, so thank you for everything.
No problem, man. It was good having a chat, eh?
Ah, the same with you. Oh, I think I cut him off. Anyways, thanks for watching Talks Over Tea. Well, I guess you're listening, not watching. But this has been episode 3. Sorry it turned out a little long, but that's what you get. So I hope you join us next time, listeners. And I'm sure everything will be great. So thanks, everybody.